Contrary to what some other content creators might have you believe, but the Dallas Mavericks getting Klay Thompson is absolutely the best move of the offseason. The Dallas Mavericks just made it all the way to the NBA Finals, dealing with injuries, lack of experience, and the fact that we were the 5th seed without any home court advantage. With all of that working for us, we were still able to take the Boston Celtics to 5 games, where our defense really wasn't the issue. We were able to hold the Boston Celtics well below their season average in scoring, but it was our offense, where most nights no one could really score or shoot the ball from 3. Even Luka was struggling to shoot from 3. The Dallas Mavericks just unfortunately didn't have what it takes this past season, but getting Klay Thompson changes everything for the Dallas Mavericks. We now have a 3rd scoring threat, a more consistent scoring threat that other teams will have to respect. Otherwise, the Dallas Mavericks are going to make their way right back to the finals. But it isn't necessarily Klay Thompson's offense that people have questions about. It's his defense. And the fact that Klay Thompson, who dealt with injury, who really isn't that same Klay from his prime years, people want to know whether or not Klay Thompson can still play defense and guard some of the better players in the league, or should he come off the bench? And from what one of his ex-teammates had to say about him shows that Klay Thompson coming off the bench may not be too far-fetched. And in this video, we're going to take a look at everything that we have for Klay Thompson, take a look at how he's just embraced Dallas, and what it means for the Dallas Mavericks to now have Klay Thompson. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, only 52% of you guys watching are subscribed. 47% of you guys watching are not subscribed. If you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, if you want to be part of our live streams, our giveaways, our Fridays where we're just gaming and hanging out, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. We're trying to hit 15,000 subs by the end of the year, and I think we can hit it. But like I said in the intro, Klay Thompson really is a godsend for the Dallas Mavericks. Not only is he bringing just a championship pedigree and that experience, he also brings some leadership attributes as well, being able to help Luka, Kyrie, and Markieff Morris in the locker room if Markieff stays with the team, but also just able to allow other players to play better. Klay Thompson is still a threat from 3, no matter what anybody tells you. The fact that he did go 0 for 10 in his last game with the Warriors really isn't indicative on how good Klay Thompson truly is. You really can't just base players on how good they are on their worst games of their career, and if you do that, then most players look pretty bad. But Klay Thompson is fully invested in what the Dallas Mavericks are doing. He is diving headfirst into the culture. He already said before we even signed him that he saw himself in our system. He saw how he could help the Dallas Mavericks win a championship while watching us play in the finals. He knew that we had a missing piece, and that missing piece was Klay Thompson. And even Nico Harrison said it himself, that we were one Klay Thompson away from winning the championship. But if we take a look at this article right here, saying Klay, Dallas chapter of my career has the potential to be so special. As you all know, we only have Klay Thompson for 3 years. We got him on 3 years, $50 million. He will be about 34, pushing 38 by the end of this, or at the end of this contract. So it's safe to say this might be Klay Thompson's last trip, his last just stint in the NBA. And if it's going to be with the Dallas Mavericks, why not go all in? So if we continue the article, Klay Thompson seems to be adjusting well to his new surroundings in Dallas. Speaking to reporters Saturday at the Dirk Nowitzki Foundation Tennis Classic, Thompson discussed the potential he sees in the current Dallas Mavericks squad and expressed excitement for the coming season, saying, "I'm excited. It's a whole new chapter of my career that has the potential to be so special," he said. "The team was so close last year, 3 wins away from a championship, so I know we have the ingredients for success. We just have to stay together and build week by week. But I know we can do something special. So that's why I'm here early, just to get a feel for the city and the lay of the land, and I'm just having fun while doing it." And if you've been following Klay Thompson on social media, that's the absolute truth. From the moment he became a Dallas Maverick, the moment it was set in stone that he was coming to Dallas, Klay Thompson has been everywhere. He's been going to just every corner of Dallas, embracing the city, embracing the culture, but also spending time with the team right off the bat, not waiting for training camp, not waiting for the beginning or maybe the preseason or the beginning of the season to really build that chemistry. Klay Thompson understands that he doesn't have much time left in the NBA, and he has a lot to prove. The team that he just left, the team that drafted him, that he helped bring four championships to the Golden State Warriors, felt like he wasn't wanted there anymore, that the team did not value him even in his older age. They didn't think that he was worth the money that he wanted, and now Klay Thompson, he's out for revenge. Klay Thompson has a lot to prove, and although the pressure may not be all on Klay Thompson this upcoming season. I'd argue Jason Kidd and even to an extent Luka Doncic have more pressure on them. Klay Thompson has a lot of personal pressure to prove everybody that ever doubted him that he still has what it takes to help any championship contending team to actually win a championship. If we go just a little bit further, just take a look right here. His old teammate, Festus Ezeli, on Klay Thompson's importance to the Warriors dynasty, saying in the locker room, Klay Thompson was such a huge boost for morale because of how low maintenance he was. Now, that last part is something I want to just talk about really quick, low maintenance, because a lot of people now understand that Klay Thompson is going to be a starter. He's getting paid 3 years, $50 million. He's going to be our third best scorer, sometimes maybe even our second best scorer, arguably our best shooter. Klay Thompson is going to be an integral part of this team's success going forward for this upcoming season and for the next 3 seasons. But the fact that he's low maintenance might make things easier for our coach, Jason Kidd, when it comes to managing the lineups, trying to see who goes where. Do I give you less minutes? Is this a good matchup for you? Which, again, it will just make Jason Kidd's job that much easier, which will just alleviate any margin of error that Klay Thompson's lack of defense or the fact that he isn't that much of a defensive stopper like he once was won't really be a detriment to us. That shows you right there that Klay Thompson won't let the fact that, oh, I'm an NBA champion, I'm an NBA All-Star, I've done all these things, I need my minutes, I need to start. The fact that his own teammate said he's pretty low maintenance, he just goes out there and does his thing, shows that, okay, if we need to put you on the bench and maybe put in someone like Naji Marshall, someone that a lot of people have said should start, that might not be a bad thing. Klay Thompson may actually respond to that positively, knowing he's been in the league for a while. He has a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge. He may even see himself that, hey, I might need to come off the bench some games. I might need a smaller role. Or maybe I start just for a little bit, then you put in Naji. At this point in Klay Thompson's career, it's not necessarily about the money. It's not necessarily about trying to really just prove himself on a nightly basis. He's trying to prove himself as a basketball player and that his career wasn't just in the shadow of Steph Curry, that he himself can still carve out success without someone like Steph Curry or the Warriors in general. But if we take a look at his stats from last season, Klay Thompson averaged 17.9 points, 3.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 0.5 blocks, 0.6 steals, 1.5 turnovers, 1.6 fouls, shooting 43% from the floor and 38% from three. This was actually a pretty down year for Klay Thompson and is arguably the third best stat line of any Dallas Mavericks currently on the roster. Is going to be beautiful for us. He doesn't have to run around as many screens. He doesn't have to worry about finding Steph for just a last second three, where Klay Thompson won't have to attract that much attention on the offensive end, where the other team is arguably going to send their third best defender on Klay. Cool. That means Luka can't be blitzed as often, or even Kyrie can't be blitzed as often, and you got to put a body on Klay. If you want to leave him open, go right ahead. I trust Klay Thompson to hit those shots. I've seen Klay Thompson over the last 10 years at least, 10 plus years, however long he's been in the league, knock down crazy shots, just put up just amazing stats. Just the fact that he is that caliber of a player, and if you're not putting at least a competent defender on him, on any given night, Klay Thompson can erupt for 20 plus points. The fact that last year was a down year, but it's still pretty impressive on the Dallas Mavericks is very telling on what he can do for this team. But like I said, he's really been embracing just the city of Dallas and everything that it has to offer. Like I said, he was in Dirk's tennis classic, just butting it up with him, just looking amazing, got the headband on. I'm not sure how well he did, but from the clips I saw, it was a pretty good time. He was also out there in California with Quentin Grimes and a couple other players on his boat, just having a good time. Like I said, building that chemistry with the team. But what else has he been doing? He's got his own shoe. He's getting his 10th signature shoe is going to be with Anta, which is the same shoe company that has the Kyrie's, is in a Dallas Maverick colorway. Klay Thompson is going all in. The man wants to be known as Mr. Dallas. And although we didn't draft you and you're just now getting here, right now that goes to Dirk, and after that it'll probably be Luka. So you got to get in line, Klay, but you really are impressing, at least me. I know a lot of other fans out there are very happy that it's not just a star that we picked up that maybe buys in, maybe he doesn't. He isn't that star that comes in that knows that his career is almost over and he's just here for a check. Again, Klay Thompson took arguably less money regardless of the taxes, but he took less money to come to Dallas instead of going to another team like LA or taking a similar contract to stay in Golden State. He took less money to come to Dallas because he is still focused and still committed to winning championships. And like I said, if no one else is putting pressure on him, he'll put the pressure on himself to prove he's not living in the shadow of Steph Curry. He's not living in the shadow of Draymond. He's not living in the shadow of Steve Kerr. That he is his own man, and any team that can at least make the finals will be lucky to have a player like Klay Thompson. But will he actually be able to come off the bench? If we take a look at this right here, a little stat that came out earlier today, the best defensive field goal percentage on shots beyond the paint area in the 2023-2024 NBA season. And at the top is Naji Marshall. A minimum of 200 total defensive field goal, it's 29.3%. We've talked about how Naji Marshall could honestly replace Derrick Jones Jr. as a point of attack defender. He's still fairly young. He's about 24, 25 years old. He can still develop. But if he's already this advanced defensively, we already know what happened last season when we got players like Daniel Gafford, when we got Derrick Jones Jr., who really turned into this amazing point of attack defender, when we got PJ Washington. The guys came into the system of Jason Kidd and just really committed to defense. And if Naji Marshall can improve on his defense and take another step, we may see Naji Marshall being talked about as a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, as a lockdown defender, someone who isn't afraid to take the hardest assignments. And the reason why I bring that up is because if Klay Thompson is in the starting lineup, he may be tasked with guarding the other team's best player. Obviously, it depends on position. We're not going to put Klay Thompson on someone like Joel Embiid or Anthony Davis or Jokic. But for other teams that have those wing guys that are a little bit more crafty, they're able to score easier in the ISO or even just attack the basket. That might be Klay Thompson's assignment, and if he really can't keep up, if his defense really has regressed how some people think it has, Naji Marshall may have to be the option, at least in the starting lineup, or maybe Naji's the first one to come off. You still have Klay start, and after the first 2-3 minutes, you just switch him out real quick. But like what Klay Thompson's teammate said, he's very low maintenance, and if 15, 20 games in the season, Jason Kidd sees that, hey, certain matchups and certain lineups, I might need you to come off the bench. Again, if Klay Thompson is open to that, if he understands that this is bigger than himself, then that's not going to be a problem. That allows Jason Kidd to really experiment with the lineups. We are a very deep team. We have players on the bench that could arguably be in the starting lineup, where Daniel Gafford could arguably be in our starting lineup. Naji Marshall is another player that a lot of people are saying could be and should be in our starting lineup. It's a beautiful problem to have, and if the players are willing to work with Jason Kidd, put the team before themselves, think about the big picture, the Dallas Mavericks can go very, very far. And I'm not the only one, and you guys also aren't the only ones that have been saying this. Our good friend Tim Bontemps also agrees, saying Tim Bontemps just said Klay Thompson should be the full-time sixth man for the Dallas Mavericks. He also says that Naji Marshall should start. So if you agree with Tim, I mean, I'm not going to say you don't know ball. Tim, I guess, knows ball. But he also agrees with how a lot of people feel that maybe Naji start, Klay come off the bench, Klay be our just bona fide six-man guy that just we always get him off the bench. It allows the lineup to be a little more free and opens up a lot for our bench depth whenever we got to pull guys off. The guys that are replacing them are right there at that skill level where there's no real drop off whenever you have certain rotations and lineups. Who knows? I think Jason Kidd is going to do a great job with this team. I think Klay Thompson is a wonderful addition, arguably the best move of the offseason, no matter what anybody might tell you. The Dallas Mavericks, they are geared up and they're ready to have another amazing another amazing season filled with success, filled with moments of just going as far as we can go, and hopefully we make it back to the finals and we win the finals. But you guys let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think Klay Thompson should come off the bench in lieu for Naji Marshall, or do you think that Klay Thompson should remain in the starting lineup? Let me know in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far into the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway. The winner will be announced the first week of October. But until next time, y'all take care. Drink water. We're going live this Friday playing Baldur's Gate 3. You don't want to miss it. Peace.